everyone, welcome to the VibeChecks podcast, episode 2, and we will discuss the best games of this decade and give them a vibe check. I'm your host, Humza, and here we have Matt.
Hey, I was unaware we were giving them 5 checks, but that's great.
Oh. And then we have Apollo. Apollo? Hello, Apollo.
Paolo,
and then we have Brandon.
Howdy.
And then Adonis.
What's my boy?
I guess
What you do?
I guess Apollo just died on us.
What do you mean? I didn't die.
You didn't respond to me.
My fucking laptop died for
Well,
a second.
fuck your laptop.
Fuck your chicken strips.
Alright, so obviously we are recording this on December 29th, 2019, with 2 days left. What do you guys have to say about this year and this decade so far?
It's been an amazing year.
Just like every year I've wasted it.
Next year will be the year I can't see.
I mean,
I've really spent my entire adolescence this decade. Like, I grew up this decade, basically.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
I mean, in a sense, most of us did.
Yeah. All right, so I guess let's get into it. Best games of the decade. I'll start first.
all right.
Right. So, if I had to give my top 3 from lowest to my best,
Actually, drop my mouse.
lowest I'll go would be my third favorite game of the decade would be probably Nier Automata. Right.
Automata, you mean?
Okay, Nier Automata. There's different ways to say it. All right.
There's one way.
All right. All right.
There's many ways, but only one correct way.
Anyways, keep going.
All right. Anyways, my number 2 would be Persona 5 because that game is fucking amazing. And my number 1 is God of War 2018, the reboot, the God of War 4, whatever you want to call it, the one where he has a child. All right.
Boy.
The PS4 exclusives. All right.
Can we talk spoilers in this?
No.
No, we
Actually,
shouldn't, because
Definitely spoilers.
I mean,
because not everyone's played these games.
my game. Well, I'm gonna be fair. My games have been out for 5 fucking years, so I'm gonna spoil them.
I mean, some of these are story games. Not everyone's played them. And,
Okay, just in case though, if y'all are listening to this and y'all haven't played God of War, please, just in case, stop us.
Yeah.
I won't spoil God of War.
Because I will probably inevitably spoil something from God of War because I've seen everything from God of War.
Oh, okay. So then we're doing spoilers.
That's what we're saying.
I'm saying this just in case. Anyway,
But y'all haven't. Not everyone here has played it though.
I've seen the entirety of it.
I haven't played God of War, but I was never particularly interested. Besides, I've been off of console gaming for a while now.
Okay, what about Brandon, Adonis? Y'all care?
100%.
Oh no, spoil the shit out of it.
100%.
Except for Persona.
All right. So the reason God of War hits me really hard is because it's, in my opinion, it's basically The Last of Us, but better on every aspect. They took Kratos.
Hot take.
Yeah, but they took Kratos, right? In the first 3 games, he was really angry, but he had a reason to be, right? And he was just really just filled with rage and didn't really have much subtlety to him. But in this one, there's a lot. You get a lot of downtime. You learn Kratos fully, and him just having a son fleshes him out so much. And basically, his son Atreus is a real good character. You see him from the beginning. The game opens up with so what happens at the end of 3 is that he's defeated all the gods from Greek mythology, right? So then he basically exiles himself because Greece is just a total shit show. So he's I'm leaving.
Yeah.
So now
I'm glad to head out.
So then he goes to the Norse lands and basically starts a family. And the game opens up with his wife, Kratos' wife, dying, right? And the main goal of the game is for Kratos and his son to carry the ashes of his wife, of Atreus' mother, and take it to the highest of the realms, which is not really your typical video game premise. Like, that is a really like subtle premise for a game. But along the way, you know, you have Norse gods, you like battle your Norse gods, and Kratos and his child basically, like, they just develop as a relationship, because before this game they haven't really been that close. Atreus kind of like hates Kratos, but throughout the game he like really learns to love him. And you know, Atreus really like develops, like he literally becomes like from a child and turns into a man at the end. So I really appreciate that aspect. And the graphics of this game are freaking amazing. The gameplay is the best of the franchise, and honestly some of the best gameplay I've seen in like any, not only like Sony exclusive, but any like American game, any like action game. It's real freaking good. I have right here in my notes, I wrote "the axe" in all capital letters because that axe is amazing. You basically, you can throw that axe in any angle you want, and when you press the button to recall it, it comes back in that angle you throw it at, and it's so satisfying. I also love this game because of the Norse mythology. Like, you know, the extent of my Norse mythology before this game was, you know, Marvel and basically Thor and how Thor's a superhero. But in this one, you like see that Thor and like Odin, they're kind of assholes. Like, and in Norse, yeah, and Norse mythology is a lot darker than you think it is. And
well, yeah, if you think about it, the depictions in the comics are way lighter because I can't think of yours. Keep going.
Okay, so yeah, and the cool thing about this God of War game is that they go like 100% into like the lore of Norse mythology, and everywhere you go, there's something expanding. There's something like that's relating it to Norse mythology. There's like you travel like on a boat sometimes on a lake, and you can like travel to like different pieces of the world. And on the way, you'll have like this companion who tells you stories about Norse mythology, and they're all really interesting stories. There's never a dull moment in the game. There's always something interesting going on. Either you're fighting really tough and interesting enemies, you're either solving really like complex puzzles, or there's something interesting going on in the lore, or there's something very interesting going on in the story. And the characters here are freaking fantastic. The side characters are memorable. There's not that many side characters, but they're all memorable, and the villains are all like, they're very fleshed out, and you feel for some of them. And that's my closing argument on God of War. It's freaking amazing. Everyone should play it. And yeah.
Any comments from the Peanut Gallery?
I think I also agree with you on God of War on that one. I like the newest one just because we see Kratos angry through every game. Again, he's got the right. The first game, his family was killed just because. Second game, betrayed by the gods. Third game, betrayed by everyone else. This game, you see at the beginning of the game when he's about to snap at Atreus for missing that bow shot. You actually just see him like, do not. Only fire. You are ready. Like,
well, yeah, he's really strict on his son, but there's a reason for everything. He doesn't want him to fuck up.
All I'm saying is, I'm not going to spoil the end of the game for those who haven't played it yet, or if you haven't played this game, go play this game. At the end of the game, you hear him say, "We must become better than this."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's what I really like. Everything's like really stoic, and I don't know, like especially like my father's really strict on us, so like I can relate a lot. And yeah.
I think it's really surprising that this game was the game to take it over Persona 5, considering the person you are.
Well,
like
it's just
the resident Persona cocksucker.
Don't worry. That's my list.
Persona 5 is an amazing game. Nier Automata and Persona 5 are probably tied in my book. I think Nier tells a way mature story. But Persona, as an aesthetic, is like more interesting gameplay wise and like dungeon wise and music wise. Well, I can't say that music. Both those soundtracks are amazing. Both those soundtracks are amazing. But God of War just has like a subtlety to it that I really appreciate, and the gameplay is always fast paced. It's tough sometimes. There's a difficulty to it, and yeah, that story is just very, very my thing.
That's understandable. I'm surprised, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
It's probably the best Sony exclusive game I've played since honestly do not know. Probably Last of Us, since The Last of Us. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
But
that one's on my list.
Even then, I don't think God of War is as good as Symphony of the Night, I would say. In terms of total masterpieces.
Right.
Symphony of the Night, Final Fantasy, all these Metal Gear Solid, all these amazing games. So yeah, I think God of War is the true shining game of this decade.
Yeah, I remember whenever I played it, I knew nothing about the other God of War games. I didn't know that much about Norse mythology.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Me neither.
It was super friendly to people that understood nothing.
This was my first God of War game that I actually went through all the way and beat, and I did not feel like I was left out. And what I actually did was I went back and played through all the God of War games, and it only elevated the new game as one of my favorite experiences, because when you go back, you learn everything about Kratos' origin, and you know some of his pain. And then when you play the new game again, you see whenever Kratos has a really mad look on his face, or when he's just sitting there, right, and he's pissed off, all the shit he's been through. This is a man who's been fucked over from life, and this is a man who, when life fucks you over, you fuck life back. I like Kratos because he's Guts from Berserk, which is why I like Berserk so much, because he reminds me of Kratos. But anyways, so y'all have any criticisms or something?
No, not really. From what I've seen and from what I know about the game, it's a pretty solid game, especially considering since it's a rehash of the game itself and Kratos' life itself.
What do you mean it's a rehash? It's a totally different
not
thing.
Rehash. It's it feels like it's starting over new.
Reboot.
While still referring back to the
You
old.
could completely start over the God of War. You could not have it. This is a new character in general. Still a fantastic game.
Yeah,
it's a fantastic game whether or not you've played through the God of War games.
Yeah. So obviously there are some recurring elements. In the first God of War, it's set the thing that he's gonna destroy everything Greek, and this one he's okay, then he's gonna destroy everything Norse. But this has it's that one simple outline, but everything around it is so much more different and so much more mature. And that's the thing. The director of this game, I think I might be wrong, but he also directed God of War 2, and the reason he made this game was because a director of this game, he started his own family recently. So because of that, he's become a lot more subtle. He's become a lot more mature. You can see that in the writing from the past games into this game.
That's interesting. That's an interesting little factoid, yeah.
Yeah, and that just really hits with me. So yeah, I think that's
your list and your reasonings.
Yeah, that's my. Yeah, God of War is my pick.
God of War number 1 for you? Okay.
Interesting pick, yeah.
Let's go next.
Alright. Who wants to go next?
Oh, I thought you were going to go next.
Next would be Matt, right?
Oh, you want me to go next?
You were on my list.
Okay.
You were on my order, so I'm picking you next.
Oh. Okay. My top 3 games are probably kind of weird, even to me, to be quite honest.
Do you have a best, or is everything tied for you?
I do have a best, I think, if only slightly. So my method of choosing my games wasn't necessarily about exact critical perfection, but more so like how they affected me personally. Because I'm more impressed by like the almost like the intelligent message. I don't want to sound all pretentious, but like if a game,
go ahead. We're all pretentious here.
If a game interests my intelligence, then it usually gets pretty high praise from me. Like regardless of a lot of aspects. So my third best game of this decade's got to be Control.
Ooh,
Yeah, I only played it recently. Very good game.
did you beat it?
I did.
Nice.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
two
need to
boys
play
here
it.
still need to play it. And
Yeah,
two still
don't
need to beat
spoil
it.
it.
Yeah, no, it's not my top pick, so I'm not.
Okay.
My second top pick is actually going to be Undertale.
Yeah, that's a
Ooh.
good game. I didn't beat it, but there's
Not
multiple
expected from
endings
you.
to it.
Mhm.
So
It's good. That's good.
I'm not the genocide.
Yeah, I can talk about it on a different day because my number one pick was actually Doki Doki Literature Club.
whoa,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
That's, I did not expect it at all.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you didn't. I didn't either. But like
What the hell?
when I think
Like-
about like games that affected me this decade, if Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky came out this decade, then I would have chosen that, but it didn't. It came out in like 2008 or something. But DDLC was like, I think it's just because it ended up being one of my it wasn't my first horror game, but it was the one that really got to me the most. Like,
Yeah, try playing Resident Evil 2 when you're like 5, bro. That'll fuck you up.
yeah, but I can't be 5 anymore, unfortunately. But I can play the remake.
Your parents on.
But like, for whatever reason, like the best way I can describe my relationship with DDLC when I played it was honestly just like an abusive relationship. Like, once the shit hit the fan, I was basically, I felt like morally and emotionally obligated to finish the game, even though everything was telling me I did not want to finish the game.
So you went through the whole like developers route.
Yeah, well, not the entire thing. Like, I didn't get the true ending because I don't know. I just don't. But like, I got to the like intended ending for your first playthrough, and like just going through that was very, I almost want to say traumatizing, honestly. Like, I don't want to touch the game despite the fact that I've watched like a bajillion Let's Plays of it.
So
I mean,
you
that's
don't think it's
fair.
replayable?
It's not that I don't. Well, it isn't too replayable. Like, you play through it once, and then once you figure out how to get the true ending, you can play it through a second time for that.
Right.
And then after that, you're basically only playing it for a couple of little, like, low chance Easter eggs, basically. Like,
Yeah.
well,
So my experience with the game is that I did play that game, but when
Mhm.
shit hit the fan, I kind of just stopped playing. I watched everything on YouTube because I'm not like that. I'm not that tech savvy with like you got to get the thing and then delete the thing. I was like, I'm
Oh.
not doing that, bro.
It's not.
But,
it wasn't that difficult, but yeah, I can understand. I guess
Yeah.
like having to find the answers on YouTube or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And it's not even like in the grander scheme of things, it's not even necessarily impressive either, because once I like started looking at people's comments on it, the more I kind of realized that some of the things that DLC does isn't necessarily unique to it. It's just got it just had that sort of spark that it
Well,
needed
it's
for
It's something
virality.
that stood out to you,
it's
at least.
designed to fuck with you, right?
Yeah,
It
but
is.
like, but it's not the only V. Like, I've heard that it's not like the first or only VN to do the sort of things that it does. Like, file manipulation isn't unique to it, and the sort of meta not commentary, but like the meta, like the meta breaking in the game isn't necessarily unique to it. But like,
Well, is it the first one to have like fucked up girls or
probably
that do
not.
file manipulation?
Probably
Okay.
not. But I don't know, something about it being like, just like the presentation of it really got me. And like,
It was the hottest game of that year,
mhm.
I would say.
Like-
Was it 2017?
I think it was 2017. If everything on my setup didn't sound like a fucking airplane engine when I messed with it, I'd check it right now. But
Matt, you were a bold man.
that was that game
Matt,
gave
you
me
were a
so much
bold
stress.
man.
Like, I woke up and could only think about that game. It was bad. But it was great.
I get that.
Yeah.
Like, I played through the entire thing. I've seen all the possibilities, and I remember after playing that game, I couldn't sleep well for the next couple of weeks because I kept thinking about how that one scene with Yuri where she was just dead, or with Natsuki, it's just oh my god.
And like the
One thing after
backstories of the
other.
girls and some of the stuff you figure out about them, and
It's depressing as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
But it's really good.
yeah.
Personally, I haven't played the game. I watch other people play it, but yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, that's the most of the DLC came from like memeage.
I watch game rooms. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's basically what I got. For
Interesting
my
pick, man.
best games, yeah.
What a mad lad.
Audio boy mad lad.
If that game came out in 2017, so you're basically saying fuck Zelda, fuck Persona, fuck Nier Automata,
The thing is,
DLC,
I haven't
and
even-
LBL.
I haven't even finished like most of the games you just listed.
Yeah.
Like I fell off of Nier on B story when I realized it was A story but remixed. I really need to
Yeah.
finish it
Right,
though.
I understand that. It really shines in Route C, but I can understand if you fell off because I did too. I had to like force myself to get
Mhm.
back.
Yeah.
But the Nier discussion is for another day.
hmm
Yeah.
Maybe somebody has it. Don't spoil it. But okay. So any last words, Matt?
I mean, I don't know. Like, all I can say is that DLC affected me the most this decade. It's the game I cannot get out of my mind for whatever reason.
I understand that. Yeah. Yeah. So it's your favorite, right? And you want to say it's the best, or is it the best?
Honestly, I don't think I would say it's the best, but it's definitely my favorite.
If you had to pick the best, what would it be?
Honestly, I think I'd give it to Undertale.
Undertale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can respect that.
Okay. So, but I'm gonna lock in DLC.
DDLC final answer.
All right. Let me type this in. So far we have God of War DLC. All right. Next is Apollo.
Oh,
Just
hi.
take it away. Take it away.
I also took a similar approach to Matt over here, and I didn't decide these games by the notoriety or the great things about each of these games. I went into it thinking, well, with the 10 minutes I had to think about this entire thing, I went on thinking about how did this affect me as a person, and how much did I grow and attach to this.
A quick
And
question.
so the top three I have, well, okay, so I guess top five, because second place has 3 games tied.
Go ahead. Take it away.
Okay,
I guess
so number 3 would have to be
I'm sorry.
Troll.
number 3 would have to be Control.
Control.
Right.
Okay.
Control is an amazing game. I love the art style, the direction, the story within it. Even though I haven't finished the game, it's a fantastic game, and I'm pretty sure it might go up whenever I actually do finish. It might.
Are we picking Control because it's like really fresh in our minds, or
Huh?
are we picking
Paolo's
Control
picking 'cause
because it's really fresh in our minds?
No,
Follow picked it
I
because he's playing.
actually genuinely love Control.
Yeah, it's actually a very good game. Like, those listening to the podcast right now, if you haven't picked up Control, you haven't seen anything about Control, I highly recommend it. I thought of the game and I thought, you know what? I'll pick this game up. It's good. Really good game.
I
highly
should give it
recommend
a shot
You should.
because I only really played Sekiro and Resident Evil 2 this year.
Okay, and then number 2 is a 3-way tie.
Whoa.
It's a 3-way tie between.
That's how it works.
It's a 3-way tie between Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden, and Persona 5.
Wait, did
God.
P3P come out in 2010?
It came out in 2010 because I played it in 2010.
Hold up.
Yeah. The reason why I have all those ties because all those Persona games are very unique to me, and they all have a special place within my heart. And pretty much I can relate to a lot of their stories and a lot of the characters. I can basically remember a lot of the main cast and their side casts and stories. It just touched my heart so much, and it's great. But not as much as number 1, which Thank God you chose this as number 2, Matt. Number 1 for me is Undertale, as of no surprise to some people. Not
a lot of people would probably
see
pick
your
that as the best
fucking
one.
icon. The people who see your fucking avatar.
Listen, don't judge me because Sans is my favorite character. Anyways, with Undertale,
I really just thought it was for the shitty joke.
well, that too. Honestly, it's for the joke, and it's for the fact that it's my favorite character. But anyways, with Undertale was honestly the first game where I felt like I was affecting the story. I was affecting the. I wasn't playing through another character or through an avatar. It was me personally. Even though I was limited to either fight or spare, it was my decision and my decision alone. And I played through the entirety of both routes, and I've seen almost everything, if not everything, within that game.
Aren't there like 100 endings in that game?
There are 4. Okay. So there's the pacifist ending, the side ending, and the neutral endings, which is like I think 7 or 8.
There's quite a few of them.
Yeah, but the reason why I say it's affecting me is because whenever I play a game, I put myself into the character's shoes.
Right.
Even more so if it's like an avatar, I can put them in it. So I did the same thing with Undertale. Little did I realize that I would be engrossed in the game so much that by the time I finished the pacifist run, I had a hard time. I had a hard time thinking about doing a genocide because I genuinely did not want to kill these characters.
Right.
This is why I played the genocide on another friend's computer. Because
I'm not killing them. You are.
Man, you're way kinder than I am.
Don't you have to have a neutral ending first to do a pacifist or a genocide route?
No, you can do any of them right from the get-go. It's just recommended that you start with like a pacifist route because it gets you.
No. Most people start with a neutral route.
Well, yeah, comparison. But I mean,
that's kind of the given. You have to do a neutral route first.
I have to go fight these. I have to fight these enemies, and then you realize partway through, oh, I'm not supposed to kill them.
And then also with the game, another thing that engrossed me was the environment, the music, and the atmosphere. The entire thing. Like I don't know how Toby Fox did it because he did it all by himself with a little bit of help from Ted.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He did it all by himself, put all that together, and it sounds amazing. It feels amazing. It looks amazing for it being an indie game. It was an indie game.
Yeah, this decade was definitely the decade where people cared more about indies than actual mainstream games.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And sometimes they were even better than mainstream games.
Oh, I full-heartedly. A lot of indie games are better than AAA games. But I guess as a closing note for Undertale, with Undertale, I love the game so much. Like even now, like I find myself going back to it, whether it's playing through the game or going through the communities and seeing what people create through with the story or their alternate universes or whatever. It's an amazing game. And I really cannot wait for what Toby Fox has next with Deltarune as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
Paolo, you're way more kind than I am because I did a neutral run and then straight into genocide route.
I tried to go for a pacifist run and then like 3/4 of the way through, my save like crashed. So I was like, all right, I'm never playing this game again.
Actually, that reminds me, it's not just like 4 endings or 3 endings or whatever. It's like, did we mention
26,
well, okay, there's like
technically
there's like the genocide, the true pacifist, then there's like the post-genocide pacifist, and then like a bunch of miscellaneous neutral endings.
I guess, yeah, if you count that, yeah, the post-pacifist, just said pacifist, yeah, because it does change the ending a bit.
Makes it more sad.
So is Deltarune any good or not?
Deltarune, okay.
It's free. That's how you know
a quick little thing about Deltarune. Deltarune, the gameplay is a lot better,
Okay.
But because it's an episodic thing, I feel like whenever I finish the game, I wanted more. And it's like, that was the only gripe I had. I wanted more, and there wasn't any more because it would take a lot of time for him to create episode 2.
Should I wait until like everything's done?
No, I'd say play it whenever you have the chance.
Okay.
That's probably my biggest complaint with Control too. Just like on a slightly unrelated note, it's just like when I finished Control, I wanted more, but there was no more. But yeah, I can understand that with the Delta Rune. Because same.
So final thoughts of Adonis, Paolo?
Huh? I already did my final.
Oh, you did? Okay. I just wanted to make sure you had nothing else to say.
No, you're fine. Yeah, no, I've said my piece. I could have said more, but it's fine.
Okay, so Undertale. Brandon, you're up next.
Okay, so I'm gonna save the best for last. So I'm gonna go with my third choice. This probably won't seem as much of a surprise to you guys, but my third favorite game of this decade has been Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. That is one of my favorite games of all time because it was the game that really got me into like gaming in general. Because like at first I had like the Pokemon games on Game Boy and stuff, and then my dad kind of introduced me to like the Call of Duty games on PS3, and so
Rad Dad.
Call of Duty 3 was like the first game I owned on my own, and like kind of introduced me to like a few of the friends I still know today, and just introduced me to mainstream gaming in general.
Very cool.
And then, like, I'm not sure if you guys know, but like the campaigns along with Modern Warfare that come along with Infinity Ward are just like insanely beautiful. Like they're like the campaign that came out with Modern Warfare that came out this year was fucking impeccable. That shit,
I agree.
It's crazy.
That way was good.
I haven't played it. I've played the multiplayer, but I haven't played the campaign yet.
I strongly recommend the
I've
campaign.
never been a fan of them.
Well, here's the thing. Like after, like I played first Modern Warfare, then Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. MW3 didn't really do anything for me.
Yeah. And with Modern Warfare 3, like I've always liked shooters, and Modern Warfare 3 had that like kind of casual shooter that 13-year-old me fucking loved. So
I totally understand that.
Definitely up there for me.
My shooters are like my guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
I feel that way.
I play shooters literally every day.
Like, can I guess your number 2?
You want to guess it?
Is it like either Smash or is it Overwatch?
No.
Damn.
Ooh.
Doki Literature Club.
I fucking wish.
Persona 2.
Okay, no. I'm definitely gonna have to go with Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Another Call of Duty.
Dude. Call of Duty has been a huge part of my life.
I can understand.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
It's like the Persona games for me. It's like you grew up with the games. It's like you can't help but not be attached.
Right.
Yeah. So with Call of Duty Black Ops 2, it's kind of the same thing with the Modern Warfare games where the story was absolutely crazy, where whenever it introduced me to the main villain, like in like the first few missions in, I wanted to kill him. Like I hated him. He was such a good villain that I hated him so fucking much. I wanted to kill him the entire time, to the point where, like, spoilers, because this is a 2012 game, I don't care. Like at the very end, it gives you an option to save or kill the enemy. I haven't pressed square faster in my life to kill a guy because I fucking hated him.
I forget that game's campaign sometimes.
I forget most of it too.
Did this one have Where the Numbers Mason 2 or no?
No, that was just Black Ops 1.
Damn.
Yeah. And so that's campaign. Multiplayer, again, it was like a Modern Warfare 3 campaign, multiplayer, a nice casual experience. And that was really that was the main place where I met all the friends that I still talk to today online and such. Shit ton of friends. And then Zombies was kind of that same sort of thing, which Black Ops 2 Zombies was definitely probably the best release of Zombies Treyarch has ever made. For sure. So that's why Black Ops 2 is my second list.
And then your number 1.
Number 1, I already told you guys, is Destiny 1.
Why not Destiny 2?
Destiny 2 is garbage in comparison. Destiny 2 fucking sucks.
Yeah. As soon as you play Destiny 2,
I've never played Destiny, so I don't know.
Have you played
how much
Warframe?
opinion
Then there you go.
Yeah, Warframe is really just Destiny, but more spacey.
No more grinding.
So the whole thing's like the things between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 were that Destiny 1 didn't have a story but it had an end game, and then Destiny 2 had an end or a story but no end game. And so like because the story in Destiny 1 took really not even that long, maybe 8 hours at max, where you just go discover the different planets, discover them people, and then you kill like the big boss and whatever. That goes how it goes. But like because it was my introduction to looter shooters, which is why, you know, like looter shooters are one of my favorite genres of games now, next like Borderlands and such. Except for Anthem, fuck Anthem. Anthem's garbage. But like, yeah, because like with the looter shooter part, like if you wanted to be good at the PvP part, you had to get guns with the right rolls, like the right rolls of perks, where you can like beat anybody else in the game. Because it doesn't matter how good your skill is, if the other person grind enough hours to get the right roll on a gun, you're fucked. You could not survive unless you had that same gun, which you have a chance. So there was that, and then it like the PvE side to it had like strikes, which were tiny little missions where you go through, kill different enemies, and then you meet a big boss, and then you know just general patrols around planets and stuff. And then there were raids. Raids were so fucking cool because with each DLC came like a story and then a raid. Where the notable one is Taken King, where you kind of like you meet this enemy that you killed in like the first DLC raid. You meet his dad, and so his dad really doesn't fucking like you because you killed his son. And so you go through the whole story just learning more about him, and then you go into the raid, which is one of the best game designs that Bungie has ever made, in my opinion. And just super well made.
What about Halo Reach, man?
I have yet to play Halo Reach.
What?
Yeah.
You need to educate yourself.
I have Master Chief Collection, I just haven't gotten around to playing it.
Does the Master Chief Collection have Reach?
Yeah, that was the only game that has right now.
Oh, damn. I'll play it then.
Yeah.
That like, Reach's story is really good. It's probably my favorite story of a shooter.
I've heard it's really good.
But go on.
But yeah, Destiny, I can pull up my hours. I sunk about I think that probably the most times I've been to a game is 1,100 hours. Because, you know, back in like it's so weird because people like will go around the internet, go into different like comments like of forums and such, and they'll say, "Oh, Destiny 1 was such a shit game." Where it's like, I can see where you're coming from, but if you were to down maybe like a day or two into Destiny, like 24 to 48 hours, you could see the prime part of the game because it was a truly amazing game. I still love the community. Like I love like Apollo with Undertale. Like I don't really play Destiny 2 all that much, but I still love to go into the forums, like to go into like the community, look at all the fan art, look at all the like the cool clips that people get in PvP and such.
All right.
But yeah, Destiny 1 definitely like a 15 out of 10 for me. Favorite game of all time.
Ooh.
Wow.
Of all time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Like if they remastered Destiny, I'd buy that in a heartbeat. I don't care how much.
To be fair, I think that goes without saying for all our top game, isn't it?
Yeah. I think so.
I don't know if DDLC was my top game of all time, but that's a different story for a different day.
Mine's not of all time, but just of this decade.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely makes my top 10 of all time.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, go on, Paolo.
Okay, I think what made a difference between that, because from our declarations with mine and Brandon's, is because we explore more than just the game itself. We explore outside, and we do enjoy all the communities and all the things that people make.
Well,
and
the thing with the like Undertale and its community, it's like very. Undertale's very open-ended, right?
Yeah.
So that's where the community comes in, and Destiny is a multiplayer, so that's where that community comes in. Like if you're talking about like a single-player like story game,
you just have a community of people who like it.
Yeah, you just have a community of people who just.
I guess. No, I got that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
like Control. I don't think there's a big community of Control, right?
Well,
There's not.
right now there could be, because right now we don't have a. Okay, well that's kind of spoilery, but like when you get to the end of the game, you can understand that we don't really have an end to the story yet, and that the next DLC can like figure that out. Maybe like it'll add more story for sure.
Okay.
But until then, we have what we have.
But yeah.
Until the DLC drops.
Mhm.
Anyways, final thoughts on you, Brandon?
All right, yeah. I do have one more point that I forgot to say. The characters in the Destiny universe are, I wouldn't say the best characters ever, but they're very great. To the point where there was a DLC released last year that showed... people probably know. There was a DLC that released last year where one of the characters died. And it got to the point where people, like, including me, loved that character so much. I didn't do this, but there were people that didn't buy the DLC so that in their game that character did not die. Because they did not want him to die at all. Like, even a few of my friends did that.
It's crazy.
That's cute.
I got that. Yeah. That's like how I literally played through another person's PC.
Yeah.
So would you say like the DLC is like, would Destiny be nothing without its DLC, or is still like a good game and the DLC is just added bonus?
I mean, it's like Destiny 2 base game, or Destiny 1 base game was really meh. I'd say Destiny 1 was definitely the game with its DLC, but Destiny 2 definitely, or like Destiny 2 was good without its DLC.
Okay. All right. So I believe you're done, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Now Adonis, last one but not
The
least.
tallest out of all of us.
All right, so much like Paolo, my list of games are from games that made me feel some type of, either I felt a strong anger, a strong joy, something. So I got two for my third pick. I have The Last of Us.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
The Last of Us and Life is Strange.
Ooh, like really? This is a surprise.
Interesting.
Yeah, those are my number three. Last of Us, just because I love the characters. Everyone in that game felt genuine.
I agree.
Like zombie survival. Like, oh, we need to all bring people together. No, people are out for themselves. It's every man for themselves. Why? Humans. That's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Life is Strange. I love the choices. I love the fact that I have choices to make, and that my choices actually have like a physical impact on what happens throughout the game.
All right.
Now, are you referring to Life is Strange 1 or 2?
1. I haven't played 2. I have only played number 1, but I with a burning passion.
Okay.
Number 2, Persona 5.
Yes, sir.
Very understandable.
And I blame you, Paolo. I blame you.
It's just Persona 5 has the most like attention on here. I feel like there's
Probably.
3 people here that have Persona 5 as their number 2.
I'm a JRPG nut. All right,
It's crazy that
I'm
it's
a
only number 2, though.
Same as me.
It's crazy how it's only number 2, though,
Persona
and
5
not
is
number
probably
1.
my third favorite JRPG of all time. It's probably my third favorite.
Okay, I want to comment on what you just said, Matt. I think the reason why all of us here who have Persona 5 on our list is number 2 is because our number ones, while Persona 5 is an amazing game, our number ones have a more attachment to our lives than Persona 5 does.
Persona 3 is my
and here
favorite
my
game
number
ever
one's
made.
called
Interesting.
Persona 3 is my
Persona 5 's my
favorite game
favorite.
ever, but that's a 2006 game, so it doesn't qualify.
Yeah.
Right, last
All
decade.
of my family here don't put Chrono Trigger. Ooh, I would have if I had my chance. Ooh.
If only it was 1999. I wish.
Oh my god, stop.
Ooh.
Alright, go on, Adonis. What's your number?
And my number one game, which should surprise nobody, Kingdom Hearts 3.
True.
3?
Wait, hold on. That
Wait.
actually does surprise me.
Wait.
Wait.
I knew it was gonna be Kingdom Hearts. I didn't think.
I knew
Whoa,
it was
whoa.
it was gonna be either Kingdom Hearts or Xenoblade Chronicle, but I didn't think it'd be 3.
I didn't. Yeah, you
I've heard
ragged on
nothing
3
of,
for
like-
quite a bit.
I ragged on 3. All right, I'll be the first. 3 is not the perfect game, but what it did for me was it continued into something that I didn't think about until Paolo. Kingdom Hearts has a whole special place in my heart, mainly because it's the game that helped me when I first moved away from, because I used to live in Garland. So when I moved from Garland here to Prosper, the first friend I ever made was because we both like Kingdom Hearts 2. From there, I met more and more people. The one common thing that brought us together was video games. One of the most common things that brought us together within those video games was Kingdom Hearts. And to this day, I'm still meeting people. And one of the biggest things, no matter where I go, no matter the people I meet, for whatever reason, we all seem to love Kingdom Hearts. And Kingdom Hearts 3 brought us even closer together. One, because you're waiting 13 years for a specific game to come out, you're going to start feeling some type of way about it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, true.
And the second reason was we could all rag on it. But I love Kingdom Hearts. That'll be the first thing. Problem. It has got some issues. Up to the DLC's coming out. Let's hope it changes it. But it's not the game itself. It's the sentimentality behind the game. It's what the game meant to me that really put it at my number one spot.
That's a very interesting situation.
If it weren't for that, you're right, Paul. Xenoblade Chronicles.
Now that I think about it, I think the reason why we met is because I noticed you were wearing a Kingdom Hearts shirt.
Yep, see, right then and there.
Well, I'm glad, Adonis, that you can wait for something for a real long time, and even if it has disappointing elements to it, you still love it.
I'm an only child. That's all we had to do was wait.
Wait?
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
I'm an only child. We had to wait for everything.
Well, it's just I don't know. I guess I'm different. I waited for 15. It wasn't what I hoped it to be. I waited for Kingdom Hearts 3. It wasn't what I hoped it to be. I waited for the new Star Wars. It wasn't what I hoped it to be. Or
I mean, there's a very good reason for that.
I mean, yeah, but even these are some of my favorite franchises.
Yeah, they just didn't do it for you. Yeah.
For me, it's hard to kind of I like to hold the creators accountable, because if we love something, we should criticize, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But that's just me. You can stand whatever you want to.
All right. Any final thoughts on us?
On my list, percent. Like I said, if Kingdom Hearts 3 wasn't at the top of this list, it'd probably be something Xenoblade. Just because I love the story behind Xenoblade. And I'm glad they're remaking it and putting it on the Switch so I can actually bring it with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad.
You know what I'm saying? Another game that I'm gonna have, that I'm gonna buy, that I'm probably never gonna finish.
Never gonna finish.
I'm probably not gonna finish at some point. I'll put the game down and buy another game at some point and then forget.
Ooh.
Right. So, I guess that's it. Kingdom Hearts 3 locked in.
Kingdom Hearts 3 locked in.
We have our 5 games now.
It's a pretty diverse set of games.
It is. I now realize I thought all of our tastes were pretty same, but no, we have very differing tastes.
Yeah, I knew that for a fact.
I think
the closest is me, Paolo, and Adonis, but even then,
Hmm.
we're
I'm
still
actually
pretty
RPG
different.
nut, and everybody knows that about me.
Yeah,
An RPG,
everyone
not even
knows.
JRPG. Kingdom Hearts is not a JRPG.
My favorite JRPG. My bad. My favorite genre is JRPGs, but things hit you differently sometimes.
Yeah.
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 There's a lot of variance going on here.
I mean,
Yeah.
it all really depends on how we lived our lives and how these games have affected us throughout our lives.
Right.
Yeah,
We all can like a game very much to where we're pretty much fanboying for the fucking game, but at the same time there are those separate games that really do affect us as an individual, and we hold dear into our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I know you guys can play an RPG, but it's so hard for me to play an RPG. I just cannot. That's why it's hard for me to play Persona. That's why I can't.
Okay, Call of Duty. I want to press.
I'm a shooter guy. What can I tell you?
I can feel Brandon a little
Anyway,
bit.
I like certain. I like some shooters.
Let's try and move on. I think we're running out of time.
No, we're not.
Wait,
Dude,
okay,
I think-
Matt, you're recording right now. What's the time? What's our current recording?
49:30 as of right now.
We're
Okay,
fine.
never mind. I
We
could
have a
be.
lot of time.
I'm just wrong. It felt like an hour and 30 minutes to me.
Well,
Anyway.
we did spend 10 minutes on everyone, so that's good.
All right.
Everyone.
So,
Most
Paolo,
disappointing games.
Paolo, quick question. What was your number 3 pick? Honorable
Control.
mention. Control.
Control.
Yeah,
Yeah, same
okay.
as mine.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So should we fight? Should we all?
oh god,
Should
we're
we
pitting
all-
all our sentimental games against each other. This is gonna be
You
great.
can't win.
You can't win. There's no winning. There's no
I'm
argument.
sorry. Okay, can we all agree? I'm sorry, Brandon, but yours is at the bottom of the list.
No,
I agree. I want to say this.
I would
Destiny's
put-
at the bottom.
I would put DDLC at the bottom, to be quite honest.
Probably.
Like DDLC
Really?
and Destiny at the
Okay,
only because to me,
Apollo, I see your point,
Fight amongst
but I'm
yourselves.
gonna be real. Fuck that.
like DDLC to me is less of a game and more of an experience. So it's like
It's a visual novel.
Hey, and Matt,
Okay,
I
Yeah.
would-
here's the thing. A lot of games nowadays, especially the shorter ones, can be counted as an experience. Think about a lot of visual novels. Think about Journey. Think about Undertale. Undertale can be counted as an experience if you think
well, I
about
mean,
that.
Undertale's a little bit
okay,
different though with
okay.
its-
Here, let's do this. Let's all give one closing thought on why, like, this game that you're picking has is like basically more impactful. Actually, this is really hard. This is super hard.
It is. It is.
You can't really.
You can't say because it's all to you. It won't make sense to others.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
This is why I was kind of. This is
Okay,
why I was
okay.
kind of thinking about it.
Like I'm absolutely in love with Destiny, but you guys probably couldn't give two shits.
Yeah.
Bro, I pre-ordered
Warframe
Destiny and
was
was disappointed. Of course, I couldn't give a shit.
Oh.
I
That's
have a
why I
vendetta.
started the day that the second DLC or the first DLC came out. So
Okay.
See,
Okay.
this is when you stop becoming critics or when you stop becoming fans and then just start cutting each other's throats.
all right, Matt, I've always
My game is better. No, my game is better. Fuck you, my game.
I think it'll be hard for us to make a as
To convince everyone
as a
arguing.
consensus to what our list of top 5 would be, because we all have different experience with these games.
Should we
And we
put
all
on
have
our should we put on our critics hat and just look at all these games in terms of
We
how
could,
they are as video games?
Well,
first of all,
we could,
roast my
we
own
could
game.
make our own individual lists quickly and just.
I'll roast my own game right now if I have to.
Okay,
How much I
okay.
love Kingdom Hearts.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I've already thought of my own version of the list of top 5.
We could do who puts Destiny last, say I.
what?
Okay,
I didn't hear what
I don't
you
know
said,
about that.
Did you? I heard Destiny.
I'm just
Okay.
giving an example.
Okay, no.
Who
Like
puts God
Destiny?
of War last, say I.
Okay, no. I'm saying since we do have differing opinions and differing perspectives in each of these games, I do say we just make our own lists and just say it out loud.
Oh, we could make our own. Should we just?
Like a top 5 list of the top 5 games. Or
that's
of
what
the
I'm
top
saying.
game that we each listed.
So
Okay,
that way we don't have
I know
to
Destiny is not going to be a third.
perfectly agree that. And we can start from what we did with the list.
All right, so I'll tell you guys right here. Persona 5, Undertale, and Control are the most common games on here.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we could definitely put those. So I would want to put Control, Persona 5, and Undertale in our top 5.
That's understandable considering how many people actually like it and have
And
experienced
then
them.
we could either pick 2 games that have been listed today, or we could pick 2 games that have not been talked about today. What would you guys want to do?
I want to say the games we talked about, because the games that we talked about, we do have passions and very much. I can't remember the word, but yeah, we learned to love all these games. So I'd say the games that we talk about.
Paulo, I'll tell you right now, the 3 games I just said are literally the 3 games on your list.
Yeah.
Yeah. which is kind of freaky.
Paul's list is objectively best list, apparently.
Apparently, I'm not arguing, but all right, sure.
We're gonna argue.
Okay,
All right.
so
Did I just hear
Okay.
gun thing? I heard
If I,
We're gonna argue. All right.
I'm scared.
if I put on my critic hat right here, I would say The Last of Us, God of War, and I would say like Undertale and Persona 5. Yeah, Undertale is a very good game,
Better say Destiny.
critically wise.
he's really trying.
I mean,
I'm trying to be least biased as possible. I'm not even taking the experience of God of War. I'm just looking at it as a functional video game.
like critically, yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably like
the
the
functional video
most
game is
critically.
Like, if we're doing it objectively, then
like,
Somebody put his gun away.
No, I can clock it as many times as I please.
Jesus.
like, if we're,
Undertale is probably as perfect as you can get.
like, if we're talking just like playing critically, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Considering one person made the game as well as it came out, yeah. I haven't seen a single game in the last 20 years made by a single person that got as much hype and as much of a fandom as Undertale. People are still
Yes.
Undertale to this day. Undertale is an amazing game. I will sing to the heavens how much an amazing game Undertale is. It's not my favorite, but it's great.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I get a head
So-
nod
I'm
from
not
me.
finishing the genocide route. I'll never finish.
So here's the thing. Adonis, would you say 3 is better than 2? Kingdom Hearts 3 is better than Kingdom Hearts 2?
Hell no.
Okay.
In terms of combat, the only thing that 3 does is lets you clear out the room fast. That's really it. You get what? By the time you get to the end of the game, you have so many spells that can just kill everything in the room. Kingdom Hearts 2, you had that, but it was to lower scale. There was much more cost. Like if you want to go in a final form, if you want to go in a final form, you click thunder. That's it. In this game, it's okay. I click fire, then I'll click water. Then I'll click water about 3 more times. Oh, great. Water's that? I'll clear out the entire room in there. What's that? Donald's going to use meteor for me? Gotcha, fam. Say no more.
Yeah. We could cheat and just pick Smash.
That's actually really interesting that Smash wasn't on anyone's list.
That's because I'm garbage at Smash. I'm the
All
worst.
all three of my games are story games. Single
See, okay,
players,
I
linear
think-
experiences.
I
My
think
games are making me feel some type of Smash made me just feel
Yeah.
angry.
I think that's the reason why, mainly because we didn't put Smash, is because we just treat it as like our kind of pastime. Like we play this because we want to fight against each other. We're not
Also-
putting in our own like feelings and emotions into it. It's just
Oh.
we're literally punching the crap out of each other.
Also, this is in the 2000s, so I can't pick Melee.
Ooh,
Oh my god!
big ol' feel bad.
Did we ever establish what was in the top 5?
Your 3
Persona
games
5.
almost certainly.
In no order. In no order. Persona 5.
Okay, so it's like Persona 5 better be high up on there.
Control, Undertale,
Hmm.
and then we have 2 spots. I want to champion God of War, but I don't think.
You know what?
I
I'll
wanna
give you that one.
I wanna
I'll
say
throw God of War. I'll throw my
out of all the games you talked about, I want to say Kingdom Hearts 3.
Like, if we want to just go off of like reception, God of War has probably the best reception outside of like DDLC as like the other games listed.
DDLC
Yeah,
was just
yeah, but what about Last
DDLC
of
was
Us?
just a meme.
Well, that is true. Last of Us was actually pretty well received.
Okay, Adonis. Since
Pretty
you
well
put Last
received.
of Us as your number 3, and I put God of War, and I said that God of War is the better than Last of Us. I kind of want to settle this. They both have pretty strong stories. I'm going to give you that. They both have pretty
It took
damn
God
good
of War
stories.
to get to the story. It took 4 games to get character development for one man.
No, I wouldn't say so, because you can go into God of War completely blind and still have a good experience and like Kratos as a character.
Yeah, but not many
And
people
know
are going to do
everything
that.
you need to know about.
Not everybody's going to do that. The good
True.
majority of people
Okay,
who bought
but
God
also
of War
think
God
about
of War
this.
because they played the other.
Think about this. With
Not
the
really.
whole,
Not really.
Yes, they did.
but wait, hold on. Think about this. With the whole like father figure and like child dynamic, if you think about it, The Last of Us did it first before God of War.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like saying, I don't know, that Star Fox did it first. So that's bullshit. Like,
There's not much of a story in Star Fox though.
And then also, okay. In my experiences and in my opinion, I feel like people rave about The Last of Us more than God of War. That's my take on it.
yeah, the same way how people rave about Sword Art Online, but that doesn't mean it's good.
Season 1.
Damn.
Oh, damn.
That's a comparison.
Wow.
I know you didn't just sit here and compare God. I know you didn't just sit here and compare The Last of Us to Sword Art Online. Get out of here. Who made you like this?
Okay, we're going off
I'm
topic.
not comparing the two. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying that argument not strong.
I guess.
But I would say God of War at least has better gameplay than Last of Us. It's more engaging, and sometimes Last of
Those are
Us
two
can
different
get
game
kind of.
styles, though. Hold on, those are two different gaming styles.
They
Yeah.
are, but they're both action.
They're both
It's
action.
hard to
One is a
argue.
stealth mechanic. One is a stealth mechanic. The other
One
one's the
does,
brawler.
but you gotta admit that Last of Us kind of has some clunk to it.
Of course.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and like, what's more fun to play?
I don't know. I play a lot of stealth games, so I'm gonna have to go with The Last of Us on that.
Yeah.
I mean, but as a stealth game, we all know like MGS5 is pretty damn good stealth game.
Fuck yeah.
I'm surprised Metal Gear didn't show up on 8. Not gonna
because Snake Eater's the best, and we all know it.
Oh my god.
Anyway, you know what Snake Eater's the theme song.
Okay, how about we lay it to rest and say that both Last of Us and God of War make it to the top 5.
Okay, is everyone else fine with that?
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
All right.
Okay, so our top 5, not in particular order, is The Last of Us, God of War, Undertale, Persona 5, and Control. We all agree?
I think Control's at the bottom.
Control's probably at the bottom.
Control's probably at the bottom.
And I don't matter.
I love Control.
Like,
I only don't agree with Control.
Like, Control is different than a lot of the other games. Because, like, a lot of the other games
Well,
are...
it's like psychological, right?
It's not psychological. It's more like it's basically like a very good SCP game. It's
What's
like
SCP?
Yeah, I guess that's a decent description. But yeah, it's a very good SCP game. Fuck.
Is SCP got an official game?
What is SCP?
SCP Secret Weapons.
SCP is I've been calling it a supernatural containment program for years, but that's not the actual name for it. You think that would be, you think given everything about SCP, you think the acronym would be Supernatural Containment Protocol. No, it's Secure, Contain, Protect.
Oh yeah, protect. Yeah, secure, contain, protect.
Wait, Humza, you haven't heard of SCP?
It's a fan-made wiki of supernatural items. Like a good example, we've all heard the thing about it's essentially a weeping angel. If you look away from it, you die.
Yeah.
I forgot what number it is.
It's literally just just creepypastas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like supernatural objects.
049.
It's like monsters that have different abilities to kill you or whatever.
Okay, so I think the majority of us would put Control at number 5.
That's fine.
Yes.
I'll give you
Excellent. I like it so far.
So now this is the hard part because
4 out of 5 doctors agree.
Are we actually? Wait. Are we actually listing these? I thought we were just gonna leave them unranked.
Oh, well, we were gonna pick like an overall, like come to a consensus and argue for our best one, right?
I guess. Well, let's go for it. What's number 4 then?
Okay.
What's number 5?
Control.
I would just say Control.
Okay. Has everyone here played The Last of Us? Have you guys played The Last of Us?
Not yet. I've played like the first bit of it, but I haven't really gotten around to it.
Okay. Has everyone here played God of War?
I have.
100%. I beat the super boss.
Wait, Brandon, you played God of War?
Dude, I fucking love that game. It was so good.
Okay. Nice. I want to say. Okay. Let me give up the list. And it might be a bit skewed because I'm a bit biased, but here, let me say this. So number 4, Last of Us.
Okay.
Number 3, God of War.
Okay.
Oh, my heart.
Number 2, Undertale.
Really?
And Persona 5 number 1.
Yeah.
I don't know. I I don't think Persona 5 deserves the best game of the decade.
See, I say Persona 5 because
In terms of music, I'm just gonna go in terms of music
because
alone.
most of us
Curbs
here
trumps
have
everything.
played through Persona 5, and most of us have loved the game.
Right, but also, I feel like a lot of us have some problems with the game, right?
Well, yeah, like every game has its problems.
Well, it's not our favorite. For a lot of us, it's not our favorite Persona.
So, are you
It's my
saying
favorite
Undertale's number
Persona.
one? Wink, 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 wink.
In terms of music, Persona 5, Curve Stomps, Undertale.
I can understand
Persona
that.
5 has some fuckery in its story.
That's all Persona games.
Not 3.
Yes, 3.
I would say
You don't
3.
take off your damn rose color.
Okay, let's not go into this argument, guys.
Persona game I played.
Yeah, you're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Yeah, let's not do this right now. We can have an argument in which is the best Persona game in another episode.
This is the next one.
But yeah, I mean, I guess I can see it. Then I guess Persona 5 number 2 and Untitled number 1?
I think Last of Us is better than Persona 5, to be honest.
Oh,
Now that's a take.
that is a take.
I have to agree with him on that one. I agree with him.
You agree with me, Adonis?
I've got more emotional attachment to The Last of Us than I do Persona.
Exactly, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's just a more
okay,
mature
you-
story.
Now,
You said you have to break one right now, either between The Last of Us or Persona 5. You can't play it anymore. I'm definitely Persona 5. I love the music. I love the characters. The Last of Us just hit a little bit different. The Last of Us hit a bit different.
I guess this is where I differ because I would break The Last of Us.
I
I'm
would.
gonna agree with Adonis here.
Ooh.
Also, both the God of War and Last of Us are unfinished stories.
Really?
Because
now?
God of War 2 is definitely getting a sequel, and Last of Us.
Yeah.
Well,
Last
that's
of Us.
Last of Us 2 is coming
2
at
is
some
coming
point.
out
Wait,
soon.
or
Coming
another.
out soon,
But,
yeah.
like,
Bro, that shit got me.
The thing about Last of Us 2 is that, like, I've heard people kind of complaining because they felt that Last of Us was already basically like a finished story. They didn't need
Okay,
it to.
yeah.
That's what I thought too. That like the ending was like that's it.
This is my thing, guys. Last of Us was great. When I finished it, I was like, holy shit, they did that.
Mhm.
And for me, it was like one of my favorite endings. Like, it was controversial, it was ballsy, but they did that. And I was like, I'm kind of satisfied. But the
Right.
fact that there's a sequel kind of diminishes
It
Like,
does.
kind of diminishes
Satisfaction.
like the satisfaction of that ending.
I think that's actually the reason why I put Persona 5 over The Last of Us was because Last of Us was getting a sequel. Like
But I
that
would
was
put God of War, Last of Us, and Undertale over Persona 5.
Wow.
I have to put Persona 5 over Undertale. I love Undertale, but
You wouldn't put Undertale over Persona 5? I just feel like
No,
there's so much more like experience. I feel like Undertale would hit you a lot more than Persona 5 would. Because like
so.
I feel like I felt more emotional at the end of P4 P3 than I did at the end of P5.
Okay.
I felt more emotional than
From the
Last
sounds
of
of
Us.
it, the general consensus is that fourth place is Persona 5.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
say that.
I'll
Who says
say,
I? Who says
like,
I?
Okay, then we still have 3 more games to go, guys.
okay, I'll take Paulo's list, but I'll replace number 5 with Destiny 1. That's just me, though.
Of course you would.
That's just me, though.
That is just you.
Okay.
Because I know
Alright,
nothing about Control, so I can't really put anything.
You
towards
should play it. It's on
I don't have the
PS4.
money. It's not like I can play stuff on PC and PS4. I just
Broke bitch.
the money ain't quite.
Broke bitch.
Okay. So do we agree on Persona 5 being 4? No.
Yeah, I think so.
I
Yeah.
don't have much of a
Yeah.
stake in the Persona series, so y'all can
Yeah,
decide that.
I think we're all agreeing that Persona 4. I will
5.
also agree with it as well.
Okay.
I still went for blaming Persona and getting into it.
So we still have The Last of Us, God of War, and Undertale unranked.
This is really hard.
Yeah.
Because it's going to come down to The Last of Us and God of War.
See,
And Undertale.
it's not hard for me, but I'm also considering everyone's opinion and like the general
not gonna get
consensus of the
past
game. So it's like I have to like. Oh.
Okay. Last of Us and God of War are the most two, like, they're very similar. But
Yeah.
Undertale is so radically different from these two games.
It is.
That's why it's hard.
It's an experience with multiple endings that are based off of your decisions.
Whereas these other two are just like AAA
Artsy kind of games.
RC kind of games.
Let's make things a little bit easier. Which is better, God of War or The Last of Us?
I say God of War. It's more fun to play, and there's more. There's more interesting things. More interesting things to digest. Also, Also, the fact that there's a sequel to The Last of Us diminishes its ending. So because
how does it diminish the ending? No, hold on a second. How does it diminish the ending?
The ending to The Last of Us, to me, is really weird. But apparently, a lot of people feel the same way about this too. I thought it was just me, but like a lot of people also feel this way. It feels like a weird, dirty, but satisfactory knot.
It's like it's that same feeling where it's like an amazing movie just got a sequel, and it's not as good as you. It's not as good as a lot of people think.
Well, here's the thing. Right? Last of Us ends off on a cliffhanger, but it's not that.
It's not leaving us wanting more. It's leaving us okay with the fact that it left there.
It's leaving us like, holy shit. Not that, oh god, when's the next one coming up? You know what I mean?
Is it one of those kind of endings where you kind of like have to imagine what happens rather than it actually telling you?
It was like an interpretive ending, and then whereas a sequel is more like, all right, here's what actually happened. Kind of like, okay, so my imagination is kind of like diminished now.
I feel stupid now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's probably the reason why I would probably put God of War above Last of Us. Honestly,
I don't know. I kind of want to see where it goes from there. The end left me off wanting more. Okay,
I understand that, but I was
where do they go from
perfectly
there?
okay with letting it go.
So we got two people who like God of War better and two people who like Last of Us better.
Whereas God of War feels like God of War feels like the first part of a grand story.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's something gonna evolve from here properly instead of like
both of them left wanting more. Both of them left me want to say, okay, so where are you going to go from here? Like, there's obviously going to be a sequel for you. Like, oh, by the way, the dude called me this. Like, what?
No. God of War had a story that's complete, but it had a whole story that's complete. There's just an aspect to it which the Norse mythology comes into play, which leaves options.
And then the secret boss. And then the secret at the end.
Well, that's all. Yeah. There's the secret, basically.
You think that's going to be the first boss of the next game?
Maybe, I don't know.
Right.
I'm definitely going to get it.
All right, let's stop the speculations and decide.
What about Brandon and Matt? What do you guys, based off our argument?
Well, I've never played either game.
I'll definitely, I'm on God of War side.
Okay.
So 3 God of War.
1 Last of Us.
And 1 on I'm Confused.
God of War is just...
I've just heard more about The Last of Us than I have on God of War, but I've heard they're both extremely good games. But I haven't experienced either of them because of the PS4 exclusivity.
Yeah.
That's really dumb. That's one thing that's both more widespread. They're PlayStation exclusive. You put those both on like PC or both on Xbox as well.
Dude, God of War on PC would be fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
I love those games on PC.
The game already looks so good on PS4.
Yeah,
it's one of the best looking games on the PS4. I'll give it that right then and there.
Yeah. Also, that dialogue, it's funny too. Like there's side characters and then they're hilarious.
We are God's boy.
The brothers.
Yeah, the brothers, dude.
They're so funny. Yeah.
They're so good. It's like, blah, you.
Baldur takes the entire show. Baldur takes the entire show.
All right.
So we're putting we're putting God of War above Last of Us wherever we put it. But now we need to figure out where Undertale is going.
Yeah, that's the last question.
So is The Last of Us better than Undertale? Does The Last of Us
In my personal opinion, yeah.
I'd say Last of Us over Undertale. I love Undertale,
Yeah.
but I love the character dynamics in The Last of Us more.
I have an
I'm actually
obvious
going to
bias.
defend Undertale.
I have an obvious bias towards Undertale just because that's the one that I played.
Oh
I
yeah.
haven't played either, really. So
Oh,
All right, so that leaves The Last of Us on third. Then
So is God of War better than Undertale?
fuck yeah.
oh,
I'd have to say, yeah, on God of War style. In terms of the story by itself.
Yeah.
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 Pretty in gameplay, I suppose.
again, I can't argue against the game I never played.
Yeah.
All I can say is
It's based off the
Opinion, and then
arguments that we made. It's based off the arguments that we made.
Okay.
but I mean,
Yeah.
still, like, not having played the game myself makes it a little difficult.
It's hard. It's hard for Matt because he hasn't played God of War and he has a bias towards Undertale as well.
I haven't played Control. I have played Undertale.
Well, that's why that's at number 5.
I have played
'cause-
Kingdom Hearts 3, which is why I can debunk Adonis. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so wait, what are we deciding on with Undertale?
Well, okay, so
I don't want to be the guy, so I'm out.
it sounds
So I
like
think
what
we
we're trying to
decided
do.
God of War, Undertale, The Last of Us,
Persona 5 Control.
Persona 5, Control.
Do we want to replace Control with like Smash or something?
No,
No, I think the list is good where it's at.
I think the list is going to be
The top four games, at least, I have an emotional connection. Control, not so much.
I haven't played
But
Control.
Smash is not an emotional thing for me. Smash don't make me feel some type of way. I just get mad.
It's an emotional.
Yeah.
It's the wrong
It's an
kind of
emotional thing for
experience.
us, guys.
All right. I think we should probably put this to a close.
Okay.
So we have our list. We have the confirmed list.
God of
All
War,
right.
The objective
God of War,
best games of the
Undertale.
decade.
Undertale.
At least within our own opinions and arguments. Yes.
4 and 5, I wouldn't see on like top 10, but I feel like 1, 2, and 3 would be like very. Like I would feel like this is like very. I could see this somewhere, you know.
hmm Yeah, those
I feel
three
like
are
if-
definitely good games that a lot of people can agree on, I think.
Persona 5 has a niche audience.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
Control is pretty new and also
Control's pretty
basically
new.
kind of a niche thing too.
Yeah.
Because it's
A
like a
bit, yeah.
supernatural pseudo horror almost.
A bit, but I feel like it's going to gain more popularity since it did win, I think, Best Art Direction in the Game Awards.
It won something. But yeah.
I don't know why. I don't like.
It was nominated for a bunch of other things too, so like that's impressive on its own right.
Honestly, I thought you guys were gonna come in with heat, like Witcher 3 or like Dark Souls or like Mass Effect 2, and I was about to be scared.
Not gonna lie, I haven't played the Witcher games at all.
I have not played any of
Yeah, I don't
those
think
games. So you
I,
just
th- I thought Brandon was gonna bring like Overwatch or something.
No, Overwatch.
See, no, I play Overwatch and I
I
wouldn't
play
put it
Overwatch.
on top either.
It's not bad, but it's just not great.
Overwatch
I
has
mean-
Destiny 1 problem where all the story is outside of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Destiny
all
1
fan
was like
speculation at this point.
gameplay.
that's why
really
Overwatch
gameplay
2
based.
is gonna be better.
Dude, I cannot fucking wait.
Okay. Anyways, all right. Let's go ahead and
We can do most
start betting.
anticipated
Alright.
later.
God of War, best game of the
Undertale.
decade.
Yeah.
I don't like this win. I feel like I don't like this win. I don't know why. I don't like winning.
It doesn't feel satisfying.
Because Undertale's better.
Do not argue with me, boy.
Boy, read it.
I don't like that Mike
Boy.
won. I feel like I'm manipulating y'all or something.
But it was a good game. There's no manipulation there.
Yeah.
God of War was a good game.
It's a great game, and well, I can't form much of an opinion on it because I haven't played much of it either. So
If it's better
I
than The
think-
Last of Us, it's probably a good game.
yeah.
The Last of Us.
I
If
mean,
you haven't played
it's
it,
like I'm okay with it. Like I would personally put Undertale up top just because, but since I haven't played the
Nice.
game, I can't really do that. So
It's just-
I'm okay with God of War.
It's just God of War is also crazy how they took like a hack and slash and just turned it into like this beautiful experience.
Yeah.
That is also
I'd
pretty
argue it's still
impressive.
kind of a hack and slash.
I mean, it is, but it's a beautiful hack slash. Wink, wink. Not.
So was Devil May Cry 5.
But Devil May Cry 5 is like anime, not like
Oh boy, we're
serious.
That's another topic.
All right. So God of War, best game of the decade, as decided by the VibeChecks.
Mhm.
Any final thoughts, final prayers, final plea for help?
No, they taking this.
Okay.
All right. So next time, what? Pokemon? Did we decide on JoJo Part 3 review?
JoJo.
Let's just leave it in the dark for now because I don't think we fully decided.
Yeah.
Or we could do best movies.
True.
Mhm.
I don't watch really movies.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you've seen like at least 5 movies in
Like
the past
best
10 years, man.
movies of the best movies of the decade. I guess
best
we could.
See, my favorite movie didn't come up. So
May I present? Actually, no, that might not be a good podcast.
We can discuss it.
What? Tell me what is.
Don't worry about it. Let's just go ahead and end it right here.
Okay, cool. Well, this has been real fun.
Very vibe checky.
Very vibe checking. We gave all these games a vibe
Insanely
check.
vibe check.
I'm afraid that Kingdom Hearts 3 and Destiny got the most vibe checked off.
I got vibe checked off of all of our lists.
Brandon got supremely vibe checked, and I feel bad.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I expected it.
It's okay. We still love you.
It's such a controversial opinion that I was like, yeah, they're gonna show it. I don't really care.
No, but like whenever you were explaining your reasoning, it's perfectly understandable, and I can totally relate to it.
It was like, I mean, I like the game. That's all that matters to me. There you go. Easy.
All right. Well, until next time. Catch y'all later.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.
check out our channel. Someone put our channel in the description. Hold up a second.
Yay.